spotlight, Hollywood frights. Tough guys gonna fight, sometime love can bite. Car chases and sucking faces, starships battles with alien races. Make you laugh out loud, make you feel real proud. Animated delights and heroes in tights. Movies so plenty you can watch all night, and all of them gonna be in the spotlight.
Hello and welcome to another In the Spotlight and Attack of the Spotlight. I'm Kyle Pierson.
And I am John Horton, and we are talking about some floppy ass shit today. We are talking about blockbuster movies that should have made money.
Oh, I was worried there for a minute. When you said floppy, I was like, oh dear, where are we going? Because, and I swear to God, I just read on my phone while you were gone, Olympic officials, this will be old news by the time this runs. But right now, Olympic officials have to address a rumor that the ski team has been injecting acid into their penises. I swear to God. I'm reading this. I'm like, what the hell does that? What? That's not going to help improve your abilities any by putting acid in your penis. And then you come on and say, we're talking about floppy ass shit. I'm like,
no, we're not talking about floppy titties. We're not talking about floppy wangs.
Not this episode.
Not this time.
We have a special episode coming up for that. Songs that sound dirty but aren't. For example, Come On Eileen. Continue. Or sequels
I don't even know how to
that don't
respond
exist
to that,
but should. MILF 2. Here Comes the Sun.
I can't even think of anything at this point.
So we're doing an episode today on blockbusters that we actually liked that bombed.
That sounds a lot better than the way I put it.
All right, you should start.
Okay.
I interrupted with inappropriate content. We're trying to be. My God, I'm ashamed of myself.
John, you should be.
I am. My God, John.
My
please.
virgin ears do not. They're not. They're stinging my virgin ears from this kind of vulgar language.
So, please.
How dare you cocksucker? The nerve of some people. The nerve of some penises.
Oh.
Injected with estrogen. Is that what it was? Estrogen?
Acid. Acid.
Why the fuck would you put acid on your penis?
I'm assuming it's a stupid rumor, but, you know, if you're going to try something, that wouldn't be it.
You're going to try something like that.
You're like, you know, I need to go down this hill a half second faster. What might work? That thought, again, I don't ski. So maybe I don't know about the aerodynamics. But injecting, first of all, you're injecting, so you're going to make yourself heavier. Maybe that's it. You're just trying to make it, maybe it's, you know.
Well, not if it's acid. It's going to eat away your dick.
Maybe that's the idea. But you're going to have other problems trying to get down a hill if acid is eating away your crotch.
Yes, that's crotch rot. Crotch rot.
That's crotch rot of the worst kind.
Yes. They didn't watch Happy Gilmore 2 where they like cut that muscle in their leg so that they could swing better?
That's right.
Surely there's some other muscle they can cut. Or surely it'd be easier to cut your dick off than burn it up with acid.
Around it and like attach it to a head. Wasn't there something where they did that? They had like a hook or something in their crotch and attached to their head so they wouldn't jerk up, because if they did, wasn't that in something? Maybe it wasn't.
What kind of movie?
You have to go behind those double doors back in the 80s to find that movie.
And you get on my case for Mannequin too. You're watching people putting hooks on their wang I don't
You
know
don't
why I'm
actually
saying
see.
Wang so much. That's twice now
I'm
I said
saying,
Wang.
well, I'm saying crotch. We're trying to clean it up.
You want to clean it up? Let's just cut
There,
this whole segment out.
there are 70 and 80-year-old women that are tuning in, and they're like, "Oh, what is this Attack of the Spotlight all about?" And then, "Oh my God,
This makes
Maynard,
me
come in
feel
here.
like I was 20
Listen to
years
this."
old again. What the fuck is this episode about?
It helps knowing that no one's. It's so good not having anybody listen and watch because we are so free to do whatever we want. If we had sponsors and we were actually getting paid, they would be gone already.
Probably. They
So
would be gone a long time
this is
ago.
better. This is better.
Yes.
This is better. Oh my God. We can
Oh,
do whatever
yes.
we want because nobody else cares.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Oh.
Blockbusters
Oh, shit.
that weren't busters. They were blocked.
What? What the fuck did you say?
It's you.
Spit it out.
Oh. I can't
That's
breathe
a
already.
mouthful.
Okay. Blockbusters that bombed. So I guess they weren't blockbusters. They were box office bombs that we think are good. Start. You go first.
Okay.
Oh my Lord.
Oof. I need a drink after that. I actually think I need a
Oh my
cigarette
God.
after that one.
You want me to
Woo,
start?
that was good.
I'll just start. I'll start while you're drinking. All right. One of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films
Ooh.
is considered his biggest bomb. Last Action Hero, to
Yes.
me, is a great film.
Yes.
Arnold, he plays a movie character that's been in 4 or 5 huge films, and this one kid is a huge fan, and the new Slater film is coming out. So they go to the theater, and the um, uh, usher at the theater gives them this special ticket. I think, if I recall, was from Houdini, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah, so this ticket, once he rips it, has magical powers. And what those magical powers are is that it allows the movie world and the real world to crisscross. And elements from the movie come out, and he ends up going into the movie. I think what made this a bomb was with the title Last Action Hero and him, Arnold Schwarzenegger being in, Terminator films, and, that's what he was known for. This was a comedy that kind of made fun of that. And I think, this is just my guess, people didn't really get the joke because when he's in the movie, everything is exaggerated like a James Bond film or something crazy. So really bizarre, silly, ridiculous things happen, which is a parody of those films. Then at some point, Slater, Arnold Schwarzenegger, comes out of the movie, and now he's in real life where the things that he's expecting to happen, like you shoot a car and it explodes, doesn't happen. So now all of a sudden he's realizing, okay, not only does the real life not work like it does in the films, but he also realizes he is a fictional character. Um, I thought the whole crossover thing was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the movie. The film actually, I want to make sure I have the information right. The budget was 85 million and it made worldwide 137 million, which it sounds like okay, it made more than they cost, but once you throw in all the marketing and all that, this is not a good number, especially given that Terminator had a budget of $6 million, grossed $78 million,
Woo!
and then Terminator 2 had a huge budget of $102 million and walked away with $500 million. So all of a sudden, Last Action Hero comes in
Yeah.
and
That's what brought
only,
down.
has a very minute number ahead of it. So it wasn't a huge bomb, but at the time, everyone made it out to be a bomb. People panned it because they didn't understand it or it just wasn't their cup of tea. I, on the other hand, absolutely loved this film from beginning to end. I think it was just very clever. One thing I was really upset about when it didn't make a lot of money and which pretty much shit canned any idea of there being a sequel
Yeah.
was I thought, okay, in the movie, they also have the ability to crisscross into other movies. And I thought how great it would be if you could go into a lot of really popular movies because that one, you've got a scene with, death and, they do a little bit of that. But I'm like, man, that studio could just open up all their movies and you could have some really cool crossovers in another
Yeah.
film and do all kinds of stuff. And it didn't happen because this movie, and I was always disappointed by that. But I think it's the action when there's action is funny, whether it's in the real world or exaggerated in the other world. Um, the cliches that they make fun of are fantastic. And it's just a really good action filled comedy that deserves better treatment. And at this point, a sequel. John.
Absolutely. Last Action Hero was a great fucking movie, and I never knew that. I never thought about the possibility of sequels of them going into other genre of movies. That would have been fucking brilliant. That would have been
Yeah, if you
amazing.
go into a time travel movie and get their time travel, or go into a action or a comedy, or kind of like Stay Tuned, where they go into
Yeah.
different TV shows. I'm like, okay, there's too much opportunity here that was just completely shot once the film didn't live up to expectations. And I think if you tried that now, and some of the movies they crossed into were big enough, you'd get fans of that coming
Mm.
in. Kind of like Ready Player One. You saw the DeLorean fly by, and they're like, "Oh crap! There's Back to the Future in here, and there's the
Yeah.
Iron Giant, and there's that type of thing." There's all these streaming services. If you're not going to put it on the big screen, give me one that's on the little screen. Make it happen.
Exactly. I don't think they liked meta very much back then, and it was kind of a meta movie, don't you think?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
We love it now,
And
but I
yeah, yeah. Now
uh
it would be interesting to see if it was re-released, what it would do because they're right now they're really like in the month of February, Regal is releasing every day another love story or rom com. Some of the ones we talked about on our recent show, they've been
Anakin?
showing this month. No, Crazy Stupid Love is one of them. Titanic.
Mm.
There's a bunch. Last month they did First of, so it's the first Batman movie, the first Superman movie, the first you know that's the type of thing, re-release some of these and just see what happens. Because we went
Yeah.
to Groundhog Day and there wasn't a lot of us in the theater, but I was like, it's a Tuesday night and you're showing a movie from how many decades ago, and there's still, a crowd of us laughing. So
Yeah.
see what happens. Because I think this film would surprise people today, where they may have been confused then.
Yeah.
And I'm
They did
giving
the
people
same
the
thing
benefit
with
of the doubt.
New Nightmares did the same thing where they went meta, and I think that was probably one of the worst received, besides the remake, out of the entire series. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, because yeah, we rewatched rewatched that recently. Yeah, it's I like I don't know. Think something about just making a movie in the first place, but then having fun with the elements in a completely different way
Yeah.
is always clever. The studio. What's funny about the studio on TV is that they did this big episode about the Golden Globes, and then they ended up winning the Golden Globe for it. So they had this thing, and they're like, "We were just here." Which, by the way, check that out for nothing else but to see some of Catherine O'Hara's fantastic work on the studio. Some of her recent stuff, since she's one of the many who has passed recently.
Right.
So, well,
Well,
what's your blockbuster?
well, I am going to go a little bit more recently than I normally do. I'm not going strictly with 80s this time. First one I want to talk about is a remake to a movie from the genre that I really enjoy too. I really like disaster movies. I like Towering Inferno. I like Earthquake. I like Poseidon Adventure. Well, they remade Poseidon in
Uh,
2006, and it did not do well. It lost, looks like it lost about 129 million, is what I read. And that's based on today's
yeah.
money,
Hmm.
inflation, or whatever. I really liked Poseidon. It's not as good as the original, but I still liked it. It had a great cast. Richard Dreyfuss, Kurt Russell, Fergie was in it. Poseidon,
Josh
it's
Lucas.
a disaster movie about a boat that flips over. It hits an iceberg and flips upside down, and it's the folks in there have to get the fuck out. They have to work their way from the top of the ship, which is now the top of fuck. The top of
It's
the ship.
upside down. They're
It's
down
upside.
here. They got to work their way up.
Yeah. He's got it. He knows
And
what
it
it's
was a
about.
wave. I don't think they hit an
Oh yeah,
iceberg. I
you're
think it was
right.
a big wave,
It was
big
the
tidal wave.
wave,
Yep.
not an iceberg. That's Titanic.
Yeah. Wrong boat movie.
Yeah, fuck. Well, it's still a boat.
And then in that one, Leonardo DiCaprio needed to get on top of Winslet. So, so that's how he was working his way to the top. This is
He
a
never did
different
make
one.
it on top of her, did he?
Yeah, he did in the car scene.
Oh, well, see, I only seen that movie one time. I
Well,
didn't like it that much. Boring up until the boat getting sunk.
that's the thing. The first 2 hours, you're like, what the hell? Nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, boom, like, I just sat through an entire movie's length worth of time to get to the start of the movie.
Exactly. What the fuck?
I exactly. But I digress. Back to Poseidon.
We don't do that at all.
No.
No. Poseidon was a really good movie. I can't remember the rest of the cast, but I know it. I fucking hate it when I do that. I don't remember the rest of the cast. I don't remember this. I don't remember that. But it's a good fucking movie. I really enjoyed it. Had a great cast. Very great action scenes. I mean, it was a worthy follow up. Definitely worth
I
watching.
liked it too. Yeah, I was surprised because yeah, I liked the original. Um, I didn't like the sequel so much. There was also a remake that was on NBC with Steve
Yeah, it was
Gutenberg
bad.
about the same time. Didn't like that one at all. But when Poseidon came out, I think because there was this run of bad versions. When this one came out, I was like, okay, here we go again. And yeah, they've changed so much that you're not watching the same movie you've already seen. The action is really good. Like you're saying, you've got Richard Dreyfuss in there, you got Josh Lucas, you've got
Yeah,
these
it's a
really
guy.
good, yeah, you've got really good actors and action sequences. And I thought it was done really well. And that actually is one we own because, yeah, that was one that both my wife and I walked out and were like, wow, that was a lot better than I was expecting. So
Hmm.
you can still appreciate the original one, but I think you can enjoy the remake on that as well.
I wish I would make more movies like that. Because that one, to me, that was believable. Unlike some of today's disaster movies, like Anything starring The Rock. San Andreas,
Yeah, San
or
Andreas.
what was the other one he did about the building? He's got the fake leg.
Oh, Cliff, wasn't Cliffhanger. Skyscraper.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, which was yeah. They wanted to make Die Hard so bad, and then when they changed it so it wouldn't be like Die Hard, it was the stuff they changed that was a little silly. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, now you're distracting from trying to remake Die Hard. So no, I agree, and that's one thing because we're talking about blockbusters. These movies aren't working anymore. Greenland 2 did not make any money. Geostorm didn't make money. A lot of these disaster movies aren't making what they used to make. And I don't know if it's just because there were so many of them or what. And some of them are still decent, but it's just, yeah, it was one after another, after another, after another.
Well, I
Um,
think I think they went into the realm of unbelievability. I mean, if it's not a matter of like a rock film, where he's doing all these things that you just no fucking way, or it's just going too big.
yeah,
It's like you look at God, what was the one about the oil rig? Horizon, Deep Horizon?
Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah, that was believable.
Yeah, well,
But
that was based on a true story.
yeah,
That one actually happened. So that
that
is
would
true.
explain it.
Yeah,
But Moonfall, where the
yeah.
moon is falling, or Deep Impact. I mean, even like Deep Impact. Oh, we're gonna, they just go too big. Keep it simple. Towering Inferno, one building, normal people trying to get the fuck out under normal circumstances in the building. Not trying to jump from the skyscraper over there to the skyscraper over here with a prosthetic leg. No,
No, I hear you. I
Geostorm.
hear
World climate changes controlled by a
you.
computer. What?
Well, then we
Oh,
had 2012, and
oh
well,
God.
everything that you're talking about is perfect because I'm going to transition
Ooh,
from talking about, and I'm actually going to bring up one of the movies you brought up.
ooh.
Um, so it's rare that we have a scoop about behind the scenes of a film that not everybody has, but we do because I happen to work on one of these films. The film in question is Independence Day Resurgence. The first Independence Day, and again, I want to make sure I got the information correct. The budget was $75 million. It was a risk. They're taking Will Smith, who really, was known for TV, putting him in a big role. You got some other actors, that, Bill Pullman wasn't as huge, even Jeff Goldblum is like, it was kind of risky what they did and the amount of money they were spending on a disaster film. That $75 million film made globally $817 million when it was all said and done. Biggest picture of 1996. One of
Wow.
the reasons I always figured was the fact that when it came out in 1996, there was no Star Wars. Star Wars had hit 77, 80, 83, gone. There was no big Star Wars dogfight space type of movies in a long time. And then Independence Day pops up. It's not all in space, but it's definitely space age. You got spaceships flying around. It's funny. It's a bit quirky. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. Um, it was Quaid's character that kind of I was like, okay, this, and if you see the extended version, you see more. They try to explain more about his kid being sick and all that. But I was like, it just didn't really flow for me. There's elements I did like it, but part of it was like, okay, well, this is Star Wars without the drama, and then forget the whole, I can't get my Apple and Android thing to connect to each other, but yet we can come up with something that we can put in a spaceship and upload it to the mothership that allows you to attack it. I always had a problem with that. I will say this: the extended special edition does have a scene that actually explains that better. And
Oh.
it's how they get the signal a little bit when they're inside the ship. And somebody even makes a reference, or Oaken's character makes a reference like, you're making us look bad because Jeff Goldblum, the guy who works at the cable place, is the one that's figuring out everything. So they at least reference the fact that, okay, one, it's weird that this is the guy solving the problems and not all the people that have been working on it for all these decades. And two, there's something that happens in the ship that also that leads itself to a little bit more believability of the whole uploading the program and or the virus to the mothership. So anyway, 20 years pass before we see a sequel. And part of that, I think, is just because of technology. You need to be able to do these things because now we're talking about bigger ships coming and they're actually picking up elements from one country and then they're being dropped in another country. And so much is happening in the film that I was in that I didn't even follow some of the stuff going on. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a big deal because we're no longer in that country. We're dropping this, this landmark from this country, and we're dropping it in this country. So, oh my God, it took me repeat visits before I fleshed it out. And initially, there were going to be two sequels. They were talk of calling it because they had the logo ID4, so that was fun. They put ID4 on everything. Independence Day, July 4th. So the next one was going to be called ID Forever, Part 1 and Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So many years passed that there was a little hesitation on whether or not the 20th Century Fox wanted to spend that much money. They're like, okay, well, every year that has gone by is another year that people may not be as interested. Now Star Wars is back again. So you're seeing space type of movies on a regular basis. And Will Smith apparently wanted like $50 million to do both films. Plus, they weren't sure if they were going to do both films. So they wrote him out. One, that was bad idea. But
Mm-hmm.
so, this is not a spoiler. He was killed off, which you only really know how that happens if you buy the book Independence Day Crucible, which takes place between the two movies. They don't explain that in the movie, really what happened.
Huh.
So you're like, okay, that's a little bit odd. You're taking your main character or one of your main characters, and you're not going to have him in the movie at all. You're going to kill him off, but not in a dramatic fashion. And even in the book, it's not very dramatic because I'm like, oh, let's find out what happens. And I really like the book. And then you get to that point and you're like, flip the page, he's dead. And you're like, what the hell? You're so like, all right. So I worked on this film for 7 days and I shot a bunch of sequences. One day, I didn't shoot anything. I was in a military uniform, for 15 hours.
Oh my God.
They paid me like $150 to do nothing. There was about 200 of us. So they paid all those people. We didn't work. Another group of people that we knew, they had gone 2 days in a row without getting on set, so they didn't get paid. Or they got paid, but they didn't actually go there. So all this money is... Day one, I was really shocked by this. They explained to us the entire story. And I'm like, why would you tell us? Sorry, don't tell anybody. Like, here's what the
Yeah.
story's all about. And I'm like, oh, well, this is cool. But why would you tell us if we don't need to know for this particular scene? It's like, okay. In the initial draft, not only are they in there's a thing on Mars. There's a thing on Saturn. A base on Saturn. I think there's a base on Jupiter.
Holy shit.
And part of the story is that the moon cracks in half, and that changes a whole bunch of stuff on Earth. So there's all this extra drama going around. So they shot a lot of this stuff because I came in at the very end of the production. So they had shot a bunch of stuff and had to do some stuff. And then one of the people, and another reason that this may have had issues, they killed off, I think, 5 major characters, either on
Holy
screen
shit.
or off. And then one of the characters that survived and I shared scenes with, I'm watching the movie later, and that person got killed off. And I'm like, no, I know that this person's alive because I'm in the scene. And then she never shows back up. I'm like, what the hell happened here?
What?
So I talked to some other friends of mine that were extras, and they said, yeah, she's in the last scene. We shot the last scene, and she's in it. She's not in it now. She was in it. So they took another character and killed that character off. So all those sequences that involved that character actually directly had to be removed from the movie. There's all these people, things are moving around. And I'm like, how much money did they spend? They also decided at some point, the director, this whole moon thing is a movie in itself. Let's take that out. So you're like, okay, and make that a different movie. And I'm like, what the? So again, I didn't know that at first, and so I'm watching the movie, and and my wife, I'm like, oh, there's all these things that are going to. Because she was a huge fan of the first one. I'm like, oh, I didn't tell her any of these things that are going to happen, and I'm sitting there like, this is not the movie we shot. There's no Jupiter at all. I think Saturn was like a blip. I think they referenced Saturn, but don't do anything with it because I guess they wanted to simplify it. I don't know if they changed because Will Smith wasn't in it, so they wanted to change some other dramas things, so that's why they killed off this other character. Like, this is the craziest thing.
Wow.
So that movie cost, after the first one was $75 million, the sequel cost $165 million to make, and half of it, a good chunk, had to be pulled off because they changed the story at the end. It still made money. It made $389 million. However, it's considered a bomb because the first one made $75 million and then took in $817 million, which is like 8, 9, 10 times.
Yeah.
10 times what the original, what it cost to shoot it, where the other one only made twice what it cost to make. And yeah, it cost $90 million more to make the sequel, and it made less than half of the original. So this movie gets put on the back burner, and he was talking, it's like, well, we're going to make the next one. Originally, though, he said, we're going to make this one and see how the next, if it does well, then we'll make the next one. But it ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh shit.
So I'm watching that. I'm like, well, son of a bitch, it's not over yet. Well, then 20th Century Fox is like, whoa. This might not be a good idea to make another one of these. Then Disney buys 20th Century Fox. So then there was like, well, maybe Disney will want it. And also to Independence Day Resurgence. One, they had a logo, ID4, that is on the shirts that some of the production crew had. And I actually have one of them that my wife
cool.
got from eBay because I didn't get one. I was an extra. But I have one now. They never used that logo in any of the marketing. So the fun ID4 logo that they used before, and they have a new one for this one, they didn't actually use when the movie came out. It went up against Finding Dory, which was the sequel to Finding Nemo, which was a huge hit.
Oh
Finding
shit.
Dory ended up being the number one movie that weekend, not Independence Day Resurgence, which wouldn't happen next time because Disney now owns both properties. So, so I think if they got the rights to it, or well, they have the rights to it, if they released it now, they at least know they don't have competition from themselves. Or they could do like they did with Stargate, which is another Roland Emmerich project, and make it a series. Because the next one, this one is a lot like the first one. The next one's supposed to be a space battle where they kind of go to the planet of the aliens. So this thing doesn't do what they expected. There's all this money that probably at least could have been saved so it wouldn't have been as dramatic of a change because of this thing. So he decides, Roland Emmerich, to make Moonfall. He's taken the moon aspect from
Uh,
that one. He's like, okay, I'm going to make another movie. And instead of just making that movie, I'm pretty sure he got the idea. He's like, okay, well, if I can't make the final uh, installment in Independence Day, I'm going to set Moonfall up so that I can rewrite it and it can be for Moonfall 2. So Moonfall ends with a damn cliffhanger.
oh shit.
Moonfall cost $140 million to make. That made worldwide $67 million.
Holy shit.
It made less than half of what it cost. And that was just to make it. That's not even the marketing budget.
Right.
So instead of having one really gangbuster movie that was unique in a story, they made two separate movies that both bombed, and neither of those possibly may ever have a sequel. Now, I'm still holding out for Independence Day Resurgence to have a sequel. I actually still really like the movie. Um, I actually like the fact that some of the quirkiness from the first movie isn't in the second movie. So to me, it was a little bit more serious, but I can see why people wouldn't because one of the characters that supposedly died in the first movie, Brent Spiner, he's been in a coma for 20 years.
What?
So he comes back. He's back in the new movie. So one of them that should have been dead is actually alive, and the people that should be alive are dead. And then he gets up and he's walking around and like, if I'm in bed for a day, I can't move around. So this this son of a bitch had been in a coma for 20 years, and he's just walking around, scratching his ass. I was like, okay. So I still like the film. I'm proud of the film. I got to work on it, for so many days, and it was crazy. We're in there. There's a scene where all these spaceships are flying around. There was actually only one full spaceship, and then there was a front half of a second spaceship that was on the front of a forklift. And then on both sides, the number was different of the number of the spaceship. So if you shot it this way, it's 104. You shoot it this way, it's 207. So there was a green screen, and it was really cool to see how they made that work. It was just disappointing that so many things happen, and I keep hoping, I'm like, well, if they make it, my character technically lives. So I can come back and still be in the movie and even play my character. Because you actually can see me a couple times in the movie. I actually walk right on. It took me 4 times to watch it to see it, but there I am. Unless you watch it on TV, because they crop it, and I'm more to the right, so I get cropped right off. So if you watch the full screen TV version, I'm cropped off. If you watch the letterboxed version, I'm in the right hand side applauding as all the ships take off. But I was in a whole bunch of other sequences that got chopped when they decided to kill off a character. I'm like, son of a.
You just don't have luck with this shit.
No, I don't. Whether I'm paid to be in it I do it for free or I pay to be in it, somehow something goes wrong so many times. But still, again, being there and experiencing it is phenomenal. And being right there and having Jeff Goldblum singing, and you're like, hey, I'm sitting there applauding Jeff Goldblum and Brent Spiner, and I'm like, it's it. Bill Pullman was right next to me because in one of the sequences, he's coming in as I'm going out, so
Uh-huh.
they wanted the start and end to see where everybody was going to be. So because I start at the exact same place he ends, we just stood together for a long time while they were getting. I didn't say a word to him, but we're right, inches away, and they're getting cameras shot up, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, this is freaking cool. Of course, in the movie, they don't start the scene until after I'm cleared the shot, so you never see me in the shot. Like, okay, whatever. But either way, um, I like the movie. I wish it had done better, but it's an interesting take to see how a sequel to a huge blockbuster film can be a bomb or considered to be a bomb because of decisions that are made, money that is spent, savings that could have been made, decisions, company buyouts, and risks that are taken. So I thought I'd share that because it's the one time I actually know something from directly being involved in it. Um, and check out the book. The book's actually pretty interesting. Independence Day Crucible.
And it bridges the gap between the two
It
movies.
bridges the gap. I
Okay.
wish it was a little bit more dramatic, but it's because there's not much happens. But it also talks about the other ship that had landed and what's going on with those people, and so it's actually a pretty good read. I thought it was pretty interesting. There's been some other books that were written originally. I think there's five in total. Um, there's the two based on the movies, Crucible that bridges the gap, and then there's two others that's a part of the omnibus with the original that was written way back when. There's also like a 1 hour audio dramatization Independence Day UK, which is what happened to them while
Oh,
America was doing this, they're doing their thing over there. That was kind of interesting. So I really got into Independence Day, when that all happened. Um, but yeah, but marketing goes, there was a couple Funko Pops, and that was about it. They didn't make any figures, they didn't make any ships. Even they had at the theater, you could get one of the spaceships, and it was like this small. It was it was really
holy shit.
tiny. And I thought it was going to be bigger. Now if it came out now, they'd have a popcorn tub that's the alien head or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it was just a whole bunch of little tiny issues. Well, they were not little tiny, big issues that
Mm.
caused that particular film. But I'm looking at Disney now; they're doing Alien movies and Alien TV shows and Predator movies still. I'm like, okay, if you're going to make Alien and Predator, and those movies haven't made as much as even Independence Day Resurgence has made, come on now. Let's get Independence Day Resurgence 3 and send me back to Area 51 so I can, I want a gun this time. I want to shoot these sons of bitches. All I was doing was inspecting planes. I want to get into the battle this time. So let's go. I'm ready.
Be all that you can be. Uncle
That's right.
Sam wants you. I've never
So,
seen Resurgence. Never have.
have you seen the
Was
original?
I seen the original one, and I remember at the time I liked it to a point. I appreciate it more as I'm older. But I
Yeah.
remember one of the biggest drawbacks I had with the original was the fucking dog lived.
Oh my God, the dog has to live.
I hated that. I'm like, oh, and of course the goddamn they can't kill anything in this movie.
Well, this time they kill everybody. People are
There's a big
dropping like
problem.
what? Then
I
they
had a
go through
big
two
problem.
presidents in this movie. They kill one off, and then they get a new one, and they kill that one off. And I'm like, what the hell is going on in this movie?
I had a problem with the same problem with the abyss. They couldn't even kill off the fucking rat. that they put in the water with the breathing fluid or thing or whatever. I'm like, God, you can't even kill off a fucking mouse? Come on.
No, no, you
But
can't
now
do
I
anything.
appreciate letting the animals live. So
There you go. Good.
maybe I'll go back and watch it. Maybe I won't because I didn't really like Randy Quaid in that movie either. He kind of bugged me.
Well, he's not in the sequel because that's one that he died in the first one. So
That's
there's a
right.
lot. That's the thing. There's so many characters that died in the first one that can't carry over to the second one, or people that died off camera in the second one, or people that died in the and I think it makes sense because it's not very dramatic. You're talking about all these millions of people that died, and then you're like, or billions, and then say, well, our group all survived. So, you got to kill off a bunch of people to make it realistic, I guess, to the storyline. But at the same time, you're like, okay, the people you're supposed to connect. And I'm actually glad they brought back Brent Spiner because as much as I hated the idea, like, okay, you're actually going to bring back somebody who was dead. And Brent Spiner said, I remember they talked to him about it, and he goes, well, it's just some, paper pusher, guy saying that, yeah, he's dead. He ain't no doctor. He doesn't know. So I'm like, well, that's a good point. But his character is one of the best characters in the sequel. So I'm like,
Oh,
okay, well, I'm
wow.
glad that they did bring him back because he is a lot of fun. And then they didn't make a Funko Pop for him. I'm like, okay, where's his? Because I got to be his stand-in for a scene, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I want a Funko Pop of that character because I was that's character stand-in. Nope. God forbid they make one. They had to make them from the two new young guys, but not the original cast. I'm like, you sons of bitches. So come on, Funko Pop.
Come on, get with it. Make Funko
And then
Pops on
you,
everything else. Hey,
I,
just on a side note, they got I seen they're going to be having two Funko Pops for Return of the Living Dead, the
I
original.
saw that. Yeah. Okay. Here's a question. I am pretty certain because it's the two characters that are on the poster,
Right.
which people say are trash and suicide.
Yep.
I never, ever, still today, do not think that that is trash and suicide.
I don't
I think
either.
it, I think it's somebody with a mohawk and some punk girl, but it doesn't look anything like trash.
No.
And they keep saying trash and suicide. I'm like, this is not trash and suicide. These are just punk characters on the cover. None
That's
of the
what I
people
say.
from the movie is in this poster. So yeah, so they keep selling stuff. This is trash, and this is. I'm like, no, it's not. It's
Not
not.
really.
These
Sorry,
guys.
folks. Suicide didn't have a
Yes.
big red mohawk.
Yeah, yeah. So
Trash
I
didn't
don't.
have Lisa Simpson hair.
Yeah, and not that outfit. In fact, most of the time she didn't have an outfit, but it wasn't
Exactly.
that one for sure. So I'm like, that is not. That is just people on the cover. I would know trash and suicide characters when I saw them, and that's not them. But people swear up and down that's who they are. And now that marketing merchandise is coming out saying that specifically, I'm like, okay, well, I guess now it's supposed to be, but
It's
that's
not
not.
canon.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, not in my book. So, anywho, what's
Yes.
your other? Well, give me another blockbuster you love.
So the next movie that we have on this, my next choice for a movie that did not make its money back at the box office is from 19, guess when?
1980.
1983. That's
Oh,
six, but 1983.
okay. And this film is?
Krull. You remember
Oh
Krull?
yeah. Yep. That's the one with
Wow.
the five-pointed little knifey thing.
Yep, The
Yep.
Glaive.
Yep.
That was such a good fucking movie. I enjoyed that. Okay, so first off, Krull is a science fiction fantasy where they have swords and sorcerers, but they also have laser guns. So it's a weird combination there. And it's your basic, space epic movie. The good guy has to go and save the girl from the evil guys. This one's really cool because it's got an ensemble. he's got a group of characters with him that each one is very unique. I've bitched a lot about Star Trek lately, how every character has to be quirky and have its own little. Well, this movie has that same thing, but it's done so much better, I think. They've got the coolest weapon of all time. The main guy has this thing called the glaive, and it's like a throwing star, but it's got prongs. It's five pointed prongs coming out of it that he can control with his mind when he throws. It's really fucking cool. And the movie was just great. I had the board game to it. I've seen it many times. I'm still, in all honesty, I'm still haunted by one scene where the oldest character out of the good guys, I believe he's the sage or the seer, one of
Hmm.
the two. But his demise just creeps the ever living shit out of me because he meets up with like a doppelganger of himself that's got completely black shark like eyes.
Hmm.
It creeped me out as a kid, and I still thinking back on it, it just kind of gives me the willies. But it's a great movie. Lost a total of $106 million.
Wow. And
Killed it right.
back then, that's insane amount of
Yeah.
money back then. Holy crap.
Well, one of the things I read is they attribute it to the production cost being so high
Yeah, I was gonna
because
say that's got to be outrageous.
they built some of the sets completely like on Pinewood Studios. I think they built the entire castle there and the swamp with mirrors. They built that there, so they really had an inflated budget.
Mhm.
And it's unfortunate because it was a really good movie. I would have liked to seen any kind of follow up, a movie, a sequel, a TV series. A TV series would have been cool as fuck. I'd like to see it come back today,
It
kinda.
might.
But
Seems like more and more stuff's coming. So
yeah, it's become a cult classic since then. But definitely worth checking out. It's a '80s flick. I gotta have an '80s flick in my top list every time. Got to.
I hear you.
There is two also that I'll mention. We're not going to go into details on it, but one of these movies we talk about a lot. John
Hmm.
Carpenter's The Thing. That lost a shit ton of money too. Why? Because they had that come out 2 weeks after E.T. And
Oh,
everybody wanted to see a friendly alien, not the thing. Stiff competition.
that actually is one with a dog dying, and I still like the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Stacy
that's
doesn't even
graphic.
have a
That
problem with
is freaking graphic as hell.
it. Yeah.
That is. I remember watching it. Like, oh, that that got me more than anything. Well, no, the spider head. The spider head is to me. I remember that scene, and it was like, oh my god! And then the tongue comes out, slides. Then the thing is like, Jesus, this just won't stop.
You
So,
gotta be fucking kidding.
yeah, I remember thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow. So yeah, that's a big monumental hit.
The other one I was shocked about lost 138 million. It's from 2021. The Suicide Squad.
Oh,
James Gunn's version. That was a flop. I read. I'm like, what?
I I think it was had better reviews, but I think at that point people were just, you know, say what you want about the whole Snyderverse. it's it's that things were going sour and it wasn't picking up.
Yeah.
So it needed a refresh. Because as I like that one. I did not like the first one,
Uh-uh.
but
No.
I did like James Gunn's. And even that one I wasn't as far as his movies go, I probably like that. Probably one of on the lesser side, as opposed to the Guardians of the Galaxy and
Oh yeah.
the new Superman and all that. But I thought it was. a huge improvement over the original. Just going like, okay, this is a little this. If you're gonna do crazy shit, take your, and take yourself seriously. There's a level of where to do it, and I think the other one was just felt more annoying than funny, and this one felt funnier than
Yeah.
annoying.
I loved it. I loved James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I remember watching it for the first time and seeing him kill all these characters right in the beginning. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, yep, we're starting over. Like, okay, well, not kidding around. All
Hmm.
right. So yeah, no, I like that one. But yeah, just he does so many things I like.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because him and Zach, I think both worked on, was it Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, I
So
think
they're
so.
good. Yeah, so they're, I don't know if they're friends, but they definitely work together.
They're
So when,
compatible.
yeah, they're compared. So, the fact that, James Gunn took over it, people were making, such a big fuss about it. I'm like, well, I think, you know, if you're going to have somebody do it, at least that, you know, I don't know. Not now with the whole Warner Brothers thing, who knows what's going to happen now? But I, I hope they don't start over again.
Yeah, God, no, please.
Yeah, let's go with what you got for a little bit and
Yeah.
see it through, and please.
Let it, give it a chance.
Yeah, we don't have to remake things It's another problem I have with everything. As soon as we have a new James Bond, people start talking about who's going to be the next James Bond. Same with Doctor Who. It's like, okay, all right, here's this one. Who's going to be next? Like, why don't you sit and enjoy the one you got? And
Exactly.
then at some point, because people are already talking about who's going to be the new Tony Stark someday. Like, no, 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 no. We're good with the way things are. That's
Exactly.
that's a question for the future. Right now, don't ask these questions. Who cares? But it's everybody wants the next thing. I
Hmm.
got PlayStation 3. Where's PlayStation 4? PlayStation 4 should be on 5. Five's here, but what's 6 gonna be like? Like, just play the damn game. Be done with it. I'm tired of having to rebuy shit every few years.
Oh, I know. That kills me.
Yeah, I
I
quit.
do.
I quit. PlayStation 3 was my last one. Xbox 360 was my last one. And I'm like, now I've got these retro. I got a retro box thing that's got like 55,000 games, and I've got a pinball thing that I've got drives and PC attached to that that's got thousands of games. I'm like, I'm done. If I can't find a game in all of these thousands, I don't deserve to play anymore. I'm
Damn right.
over it.
How,
Exactly.
however, I will be getting a PlayStation 5. I got to. Resident Evil Requiem is coming out for that, and Tomb Raider has two new games coming out for it. I gotta get it.
All right.
Those like my favorites.
All right.
They
No,
had
I
did
understand. I
you
understand.
see
I
they
go back and I play the.
did you see they found a new Laura Croft for I think it's like the live action TV show?
Yeah, yeah, I forget her name. It's the one from
Sophia something.
X-Men.
I don't like her.
Yeah,
I don't like
really?
her as Laura Croft.
I think she. I think I well, I haven't seen her act it yet, but I thought the look. I mean, they showed a picture of the game and they showed a picture of her, and I mean, it's the closest they've had so far as the look. The wardrobe,
Well, the wardrobe,
unless
yeah,
that
but
was an AI thing.
you could put Angelina Jolie in that wardrobe and she'd look better than
You
this.
know,
This girl's nose and her face is too. I don't know. There's just something about her face that I don't feel like matches Laura Croft.
it well, if you also look at Laura Croft, she hasn't matched from one game to the next.
No.
Every game, she looks a little different than she looked before. So I don't I think she'll be fine. I'll give her a shot and see what
No,
she can
well,
do.
well, I will too. But
I like the last girl.
oh, I love the last girl.
I'm like, okay, why don't we make a sequel to that? Well, we don't own it. Well, so what? Isn't it possible that you can buy a franchise and just continue it the way it is? Well, why do people have to start over again? I'm like, yeah, if it's working, just I don't get it. Unless that movie didn't do that well. I thought it did all right, didn't it?
I thought, nah, I don't remember to be honest. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
I didn't I didn't like the Angelina Jolie, at least one of them, because it seems like she was solving puzzles, but didn't explain how the hell they were solving the puzzle. I'm like, how the hell did she come to that conclusion? It was really, it's like, well, we have to have her solve it. And I'm like, I get it, but
Right.
I still don't understand how. So I'm sitting there still trying to solve the puzzle, and we're two scenes later, and I'm not paying attention because I'm like, well, no, 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 no. I thought she looked the part. I thought she acted the part. I thought she was fine. I just thought story-wise, they
Yeah.
needed to do a better job of explaining what the hell was going on
Mhm.
instead of just saying, okay, here's some cool, Indiana Jones style things. And like, nah, nah. I'd rather have, I want another National Treasure. That's what I
That was
want.
good.
I love the first two. They talked about this page 47. I want the next National Treasure, and instead I got a TV series that I didn't ask for with characters that aren't connected. I want Nicolas Cage, National Treasure. Make it happen.
Well, Nicolas Cage is a national treasure.
He is a national treasure. People give him shit. I don't care if he's in a bunch of stuff. Like, okay, well, he's in a bunch of. He's in a lot of stuff.
So what?
Some things going to be good. Some things are not going to be so good. Shit, I know that. Life. 99% of my stuff is crap. But still, he will do whatever, and I like him because of that. You never know
Exactly.
what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah, God only knows. He's just
Yeah,
wacky.
yeah, and but in that role, he plays it cool. He plays it normal. It's like,
Right.
okay, he can play a normal guy, or he can be in a movie and play a complete.
Now see, here's the thing. Nicolas Cage, you can put him in a movie and he can act like that woo 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 or that goofy ass shit that he does.
Yeah, yeah, Face Off.
Or he can be normal like in National Treasure or 8 millimeter or a multitude of other movies.
Yeah.
Whereas Jeff Goldblum
Mm.
is always going to talk like that. He's always going to be that character. May have a different name, may have a different job, but he's always that guy. you know? And
That's
people
true.
love him for it. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
saying
I
there's
love it.
anything wrong with him,
Yeah,
but
but yeah, no, I think Nick. Yeah, anybody who says anything bad about Nicolas Cage should get kicked in the crotch.
well, I was
I
going to say
love
suck
Nicolas.
my dick, but
You
kick to
can
the
do that
crotch
one.
works too.
You don't need a reason for that. Oh my God. Okay, we can tell when it's gotten too
Touche.
late. It's gotten too late. Is there anything else you had to discuss before we wrap up this?
Do you ever see Memoirs of an Invisible Man? You've
That's
had
Chevy
to.
Chase. That's
Chevy
Chevy
Chase?
Chase, right?
Yeah. What
Yes.
did you think of that?
I must not have liked it because I never saw it again, ever. So I don't remember anything about it. And usually Chevy Chase movies, boom. Whether I like it, that's the thing. Even if I don't like a Chevy Chase movie, I can remember the Chevy Chase movie. I didn't really like Modern Problems. I liked parts of Modern Problems a lot, but most of Modern Problems I did not like. But I remember it distinctly.
So like,
Memoirs
one
of
thing I remember
Invisible.
about modern problems, sniffing the
Yeah,
stuff around the bed
yeah.
and I
Ah,
don't like it.
it. Yeah. And I
All I
remember
remember.
the orgasm scene. He's at the kitchen counter or something doing stuff, and she's in bed, and he starts having sex with her mentally, and so he's like, so she's like, and she's sitting there, and he's like, and he's just having a good time, just sitting there. Love that.
I might have to rewatch that movie now.
Yeah, that was one of the funniest scenes from the movie. But yeah, I don't remember anything about Invisible. I'll tell you what, the new Invisible Man movie I thought was phenomenal. I love the
Yeah, that
new
was
Invisible
good.
Man movie. That was really good.
And The Wolf Man, did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
That one was pretty good too.
Yeah, I wanted to because it's by the same guy or something.
Yeah, it's like I think they were trying to redo their Monsterverse again.
Yeah, because now we've also got The Bride. We got a new Frankenstein. We got a new Dracula that came out yesterday or today. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, man, what do you
How many times are we going to do a Dracula movie?
till the end of time? There's
There's
always
way
going to
too many
be
of
yet
those.
another.
Vampires would be fine. Oh, I loved it in in Wrecking Crew when they see the picture of that guy for the first time. They're like, "Oh, we're going to Lestat's mansion." Oh, it's a couple episodes ago, kids. You'll have to go
Yeah,
back if you haven't seen it yet.
yes.
Or
There's
I don't know how
nothing
many
better
episodes.
than revisiting a In the Spotlight episode.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you don't have to watch them in order.
No,
Just jump
no, never.
around. Jump around.
Yeah, we're random enough that you can
Yeah,
skip
if
around.
if you're young, make sure your parents aren't in the room. And if you're a parent, don't let your kids listen. They shouldn't listen to this.
Well, if you're young,
Keith,
make sure
Keith,
your
we,
parents
we,
aren't in
we
the
got Mr.
room, but their
Potty Mouth
wallets
over here.
is.
Hmm?
If you're young, make sure your parents aren't in the room, but make sure their wallets are. And you can call us at 555.
Oh my God, the Soupy Sales thing. Did you hear the Soupy Sales thing?
What's
He
that?
he Soupy Sales. I think it was Soupy Sales. I'm pretty sure he had this children's program way like in the 50s, I think 50s, 60s. And one day, as a joke, he said, now go into daddy's wallet or mommy's purse and you find these pieces of paper that have green print on them, like a picture, and put them in an envelope and mail them to Soupy Sales at whatever. And a couple days later, bags of money showed up. He was like, oh my God, they did it.
I
So,
never heard that. I know Soupy Sales and I know the
yeah.
joke, but I never heard that someone actually did that and got money
Yeah,
out of it.
supposedly, a bunch of kids sent money that they stole from their parents.
Wow.
And yeah, so he was like, "Oh," so I assume they sent it back. I don't know what happened at that
I would
point,
think
but I
so.
but I remember hearing that story when he was interviewed.
Holy shit.
So yeah, so kids don't do that.
No,
Don't
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 do that. No,
don't
not
don't
never.
don't send money to anybody, especially anybody you meet online, telling you they need money for any number of things, no matter how much it sounds important. Don't do it. Especially if somebody wants you to invest in their film. Just leave that to the two of us.
Exactly. We know what we're doing. We're trained professionals.
We're trained professionals. That's actually going to be an upcoming episode. Last year we talked about crowdfunding films and some pluses and minuses that we had with them. What we're going to do now, just because if we may have scared anybody off or made it sound like it's the best way to go. We want to give you the truth. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list of the movies that we have contributed to and tell you exactly what we were able to get out of them. If we got everything we were promised, if we didn't, if it was, if there's reasons for it, so you have a better understanding of what you're getting into. We're not here to blame anybody for anything that didn't happen or ridicule anybody. That's not what we're doing. We just want to give you an idea of what to expect. If I get a voice thing, how well am I going to be heard? If I pay for a poster, how long until I see it? that type of thing. So we'll go through each one and say, okay, this movie did this for us. This movie did this for us. This one we're still waiting on. That type of thing. Just give you a honest and clear understanding of how crowdfunding works and what you can expect.
And we're going to do a puppet show.
And we're going to do a puppet show.
It's going to be a sock puppet.
Sock puppet. As long as it's not a dirty sock puppet, the naughty sock puppet. For John Horton, I'm Kyle Pierson, and you've been watching In the Spotlight and listening to Attack of the Spotlight. Thanks so much. We'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye. It's going to be a cocksock puppet show.
Jesus Christ. God.